Alright, YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So let's get straight into this video. I want to talk about how to stay calm under pressure. So we know throughout life, every single human being on the planet is going to be in situations that are really, really tough, right? There are going to be situations that are going to feel like there's literally actual pressure on you, right? It feels like you're getting squeezed down, like the whole entire world's on your shoulders. So these could be any situations. This could be maybe you're in a position to where you have a lot of responsibility. Maybe it's just something in your life like financial distress or whatever. You might lose a home. Maybe just a situation with yourself, something you deal with, a mental battle or something. Any situation, there's going to be situations in our life that are going to be really tough, right? It's going to be a lot of pressure. And I want to get into a Bible verse. So if you go to Proverbs chapter 24, verse 10, it says, "If you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small." So this verse isn't meant to offend anyone because we know that whenever we're weak, right? Whenever we feel like we're going to faint, we know who's the strongest, and that's God. His strength is made perfect in our weakness. And these are the situations that give us true strength, right? So situations that make us want to run, make us feel like we're going to faint, situations that make us scared, makes us anxious, makes us feel weak, right? These are the situations that get us strong, and God uses these situations to strengthen you and strengthen your faith, whatever these situations are, because these are going to happen in your life. It's a given, right? Because no one has a life that's just free of any adversity. It doesn't matter who it is. And another Bible verse, if you go to Psalm chapter 118, chapter 118, verse 5 to 6, it says, "I called upon the Lord in distress. The Lord answered me and set me in a large place. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do unto me?" Yeah, what can man do unto me? So high pressure situations in our life are the things that stretch out our faith, right? Because we can't accomplish anything of significance without faith. You can't do anything without believing in yourself and having faith in God, right? Like without faith, we really can't do anything because you won't believe you could do it. If it's something of a lot of pressure and you say, "Oh, I can't do it. I can't," you keep saying can't, can't, can't. And then that's what's going to happen. So the faith is the important thing. But if you're watching this video and you just felt like called to listen, you could be going through a situation like that right now, or you could have had one, or you could have had past experiences too that you made it out of, right? So another way to stay calm under pressure is to look at your past experiences that you overcame, because I'm sure every single person watching this video, you've had situations in your life that were really high pressure that you thought you weren't going to get through, but you got through in each and every single time. So that's another good way to do it. So whenever you're in a high situation, always remember the other situations that you overcame and what makes this one any different, right? Like, why do you think you won't overcome this one? So I wanted to make this video because this video speaks to me too, speaks to me in my life and like the pressures I have in my life, but I also felt called to speak about this too because we know that adversity in life is like a given, right? There's going to be adversity, whether it's a lot of it, depending on your life. Some people go through a lot, especially if you're someone that's chosen, right? If you know you have a purpose, like you legitimately know that God has pulled you out and called you, you're going to have adversity. And you've probably been going through adversity throughout your whole life. And I don't say adversity, like simple adversities, like just like, oh, am I going to pass, my classes? Am I going to do this? It's like adversity on top of adversity to where it's like true pressure, right? It's like one thing after another, after another, after another. And you might ask yourself, like, why does all this have to happen to me, right? Why does it have to be one thing after another, after another, after another? I want to speak genuinely for people who are called to be leaders, right? You're called by God to be leaders in some sort of fashion in whatever industry it is, or just whatever it is, but you're called to be a leader. So if you're someone that's called to be a type of leader and whatever it is, you're going to have the type of life that is kind of constant adversity, right? It's going to be a lot of like resistance, it's going to be a lot of pain, a lot of development, a lot of stretching of your faith, a lot of stretching of your strength, a lot of humbling, right? A lot of just a lot of suffering, right? Because God says in His Word, "Blessed is he who endures," right? And that's true. Whoever endures suffering is blessed because you're getting tried by God, right? And God doesn't try for no reason. God tries to literally strengthen you and get you prepared for your whole life, to clean up every single aspect about your life, to strengthen every aspect about you, right? So whenever we're in high pressure situations, usually our biggest enemy is ourselves. So this is where things like anxiety come in. This is where doubt comes in. And we all know it's probably pretty hard to think positively in a high pressure situation, to where there's a lot on you when you're under a lot of stress, right? It's pretty hard to think positively or even think calmly. So whenever you're in these situations, you need to keep an eye out on what you're thinking about, right? Because the brain is going to be cranking out just tons of different thoughts. Whenever you're in high pressure, your survival is gonna activate, right? So your brain's gonna go into survival. So your mind's gonna start racing. Your heart might start racing or whatever. You might start having like more negative thoughts, more fearful thoughts. You might start wanting to run away, wanting to quit, wanting to just go crazy, kind of, right? You just want to, like, it's just a lot of pressure. It feels like you're gonna explode. And this is why God also says to be strong and to not fear, not to not feel fear or to feel strong. He never says you need to feel strong or feel like don't feel fear. So fear is going to come regardless, right? It's just an emotion is going to come. And strength, it doesn't mean feeling strong. It means going through that situation, right? Not running, not avoiding, not having the lack of faith, not being scared and all that stuff. So whenever we get into situations that are high pressure, they're really testing us, right? They're really kind of making us feel like we're drowning, right? Because we all know that high pressure situations, it's like one thing after another. It's like you can't catch a break. So it's like you got this thing to worry about. Then because you're worrying about this thing, you have this other thing that's coming that you need to worry about. Then you got another thing. Then you got another thing. Then there's another. So there's like a million different things that could happen. So we might ask ourselves, like, how do I even do this, right? How can I get through this? How can I get through this? How can I do it? This is, like I said earlier, it's one of the best things to do is to look at your past situations that you overcame, like how you overcame that, like whatever situation that was, because we've all had multiple past situations that were difficult, but we overcame those every single time. Whenever you hold that close to you, that's when you know that you'll make it through that situation, because you made it through all the other ones, and this one won't be any different. And these are the things that test our faith the most, because whenever things look grim, whenever things look impossible, whenever things are just a mess, right? This is what tests our faith the most. Like, are we gonna give up? Are we gonna be scared? Are we gonna run away? Are we gonna avoid them? Are we gonna do whatever it is to escape it? Or are we gonna push through it, right, and have faith that it's gonna work out? So I believe this is how God stretches out our faith and makes us strong, right? So we become strong whenever we need faith. It's like a thing to where the only thing that you could do is have faith, right? Those are the situations that make us the strongest, to where we have no other choice. Like we can't get help from any person, anything, even from ourselves, right? It's like the only thing you could do is just have faith. That's the type of situation that gets us the strongest, right? Because when you do make it through this type of situation, that's when you get that feeling of strength. That's when you get that feeling that you conquered something. That's when you get that confidence, right? And you can only get confidence when you push through things, not from running away. Whenever you run away, you lose confidence. Whenever you lose confidence, you lack faith, right? And that's not where you want to go. You want to go through things. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it looks like, you have to face it, right? And this might sound obvious to a lot of you, but throughout our life, the way we react to things, sometimes we want to run away. Sometimes we don't want to deal with the things or whatever. Sometimes we're too stressed. Sometimes we're just scared. Sometimes we're just way too stressed out. You can't even think straight or whatever. So, but we know the truth is you have to go through the situation. There's no other choice, right? Like, where can you go? And that's the type of situation I'm talking about, to where there's no other way to go. So you either go through it or you perish, pretty much, right? And we know you're not going to perish, right? Because God is going to hold your hand throughout the whole thing, and you've probably seen it throughout your whole life too. Wherever, even when you felt like running away and like fainting and just like quitting and everything, you didn't quit, right? Somehow you didn't quit. Somehow you kept moving, right? You could have been tired. You could have felt like you got hit by a brick wall, right? Or got hit by a truck or something. You got zero energy at all, but somehow you get that boost of energy and you go through it. You get that other boost of energy and you go through it. So God's strength is made perfect in weakness, right? So this is where God shines the most. So especially if you're someone who's chosen, if you're chosen, God makes like a good example out of you. So he's going to put you in situations that are going to just be a reliance on him, right? You're only going to be able to rely on God. So whenever you're in a situation where you can only rely on God, these are the situations that are like impossible, right? And we know God could do the impossible. So if you're watching this video, you could be going through an impossible situation. You could have been going through one, or one is about to start. You may know this too. You may know that something's about to happen. But these impossible situations, these are the situations that make us the strongest, right? Because not only are they not impossible, but you start to realize what you really could do, like what you really, really could do. You'll start to look at yourself and be like, wait, I could actually handle that. I could do this. I could do that. I thought I couldn't do this, but it proved me wrong again and again and again and again, right? God loves to prove us wrong too. He's that good. He loves to prove us wrong, especially when we have that doubt whenever we say we can't do it. That's when God loves to prove us wrong, where he says, no, you can do it. We say we can't. God says you can, right? Glory be to God. So, but yeah, the moral of the story is, though, this is how you stay calm under pressure. And the way to stay calm under pressure is to pretty much just have faith, right? You need to have faith above all things, faith that it's going to work out, whatever the situation is. And you don't let yourself faint, right? You don't let yourself run. You don't let yourself get scared. So you don't rely on your feelings, because feelings just come and go, right? Feelings aren't always rational. They just happen because of the situation, right? They're like automatic. So we don't want to listen to our feelings in this situation. We want to see the situation for what it is and have faith. So faith has got to be above all. It's got to be above fear, above doubt, above every single thing, right? Because that's what gets you through the situation. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, if you like the video, don't forget to comment. Anything below, if you want to comment, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want to subscribe, don't forget to subscribe. All right, God bless you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.